Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a cycle, attracting the same problems over and over again? And what if I told you that the power to break that cycle lies within your thoughts?
Hmm.
Welcome back, you guys, to Bluntly Talking. I am Mita, and I am joined by my awesome co-hosts, Musika and Noodles. Yay!
Woohoo!
How's it
Hello.
going, everybody?
Today we're diving into two incredibly transformative concepts. Sorry about that. I do suffer from a little bit of brain fog. But yeah, like I was saying, there's these two concepts, right? The law of attraction and the law of assumption.
Hmm.
These principles have been around for ages, but if you're a beginner, you might be wondering what are they exactly and how they can change your life. So, in this Witch's Corner today, we would like to break that down for you guys. We basically, I was introduced into the law of attraction years ago. I'm gonna say about 7 to 8 years ago. And then as soon as like literally that day that I heard about it, that I shared it with you both and
Mm-hmm.
your dad.
Hmm.
How do you feel like it's had an impact in your life?
I believe it does. I think that again, like when you first told us about all this, I was also again around the time like trying to figure myself out and everything, like religion, gods, deities, spirits, witchcraft, things like that. If I was really into that or not. And when you
Hmm.
said that, because it didn't sound like it followed like any of that, I was like, okay, that sounds like a happy middle for me. And I started getting like into it along with you. I think you were more enthusiastic about it, and I was like, okay, let my mom take me for a ride. And ever since then, it's been pretty good. I admit, in high school, I probably didn't utilize it as much because again, like teenager doesn't really think that strongly about it, or like think like, it's it's like whatever.
Mhm.
You don't put as much practice in into like I want to say yeah around college. Like once I graduated, I started adding it a bit more. And no, yeah,
Hmm.
seeing the differences and the the help that it's given me throughout all these years, like I just like I like it now, and I apply it to like my everyday life. Not I admit there's some days I do forget. Oh look, a boar is floating, and yeah, like it's okay. Like you forget every once in a while, but it's like as long as I pick up on it again, then it's fine.
Mhm. When I first heard about it, when I first learned about it, the reason that I was so enthusiastic to share it with y'all was because I thought, holy shit, if I had learned this when I was younger, this would be life changing. And so it was the same thing with you. I just wanted to share it with you guys because I thought the sooner you know about this, like the better.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, I remember when you told us about it, like I right away tried to put it into practice, and um, it was a law of attraction. I remember mostly using, but I mean, I remember when we started using it, like, oh my God, like I was over here
Oh, that's
amazed
cool.
on
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys here? I'm being
like
attacked.
the difference. Yeah.
Let's see, where are you?
Oh shit, did it go away? I can't tell. I think it did.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Yay, left.
Hey.
Well, hi.
Welcome to the witch's cabin.
Oh, these are the trees you're talking about?
Yep.
Ah, crows. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is we're debuting. Oh my God, I told you I can't speak. We're debuting
Oh, shit.
our witch's cabin. Yeah, if you want, are you walking around or did you go inside already?
Yeah, I'm walking around first. Ooh.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And I'm not done yet. I'm still going to do some other things, but for now, this is gonna be like our little witch stuff. I don't know.
Sacrificial altar.
It is
Sacrifice!
sacrifice.
Sacrifice?
I think we all
And
think of Scooby
then,
Doo.
yeah, for sure.
What was it? Monster Island.
Yeah, I think I
Monster
might
Island
put like
Entertainment.
some seating here or something like so we could sit. I love the way this view looks.
I
Yeah,
do
this
too.
looks beautiful.
So I'm gonna put like some seats out here. And then we have our shallow graves over here. Like,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. It shows there that you can actually, if you go and interact with it, it tells you like you can put something in there, but I don't know if it's for storage or we can make something. Oh no, because it says your rituals.
So
Yeah, that's
probably
what
for
I was
But
saying.
corpses.
yeah.
That's what I was saying. Maybe these are where we can make the zombies.
Oh, that seems like an extra long process then.
Don't go inside through there. Come inside to the front. I think it'll
Okay.
be better.
Okay.
But I like how it kind of looks like it belongs here, right?
It does. It gives off that spooky vibe in the
There you
forest.
go. Yeah.
Oh, this is
And this
cool.
is their cabin. Yeah, see?
This
It's
cabinet.
small. It's a small cabin, but
It definitely gives off the whole witch forest vibe, which I love.
yeah. Yep. So we could either sit around the fire or we have these little sitting places over here.
Ooh.
So whichever you want. Oh.
I couldn't get in because of the
Yeah, the table.
yeah. Ah, this is a weird
Right.
angle. Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could try sitting. Do you want to? Oh, I think we said if you switch places with one of us,
Let's see.
it might be better.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is
there you
slightly
go.
better.
Let's see. Yeah, 'cause I think you could see more of the. There we go. Do you want that like that, or
I think this looks
we
good,
could
yeah.
sit around the? Yeah. Okay. Hey guys. So let's continue with the. Like I said, when we were talking today, we're going to talk about the law of attraction and the law of assumption. So if this is if this is the first time you've heard about it, or you've heard about it, you just don't know much about it. So this is very much for beginners, but also a refresher course. So what is the law of attraction? At its core, the law of attraction states that whatever we focus on, we attract into our lives, whether it's
Mm.
good or bad. So
Hmm.
it's the idea that thoughts become things. If you consistently think about abundance, success, and positivity, well, you're going to draw those things into your life. And on the other hand, if your focus is on fear, doubt, or lack, well, that's what you'll attract.
No,
Hmm.
yeah.
So this law operates on the principles that like attracts like. So your thoughts, emotions, and energy are constantly interacting with the universe to create your reality.
Hmm.
What when you first heard of this, what did you think? When you first heard of like, oh, your thoughts attract, you know,
I
thoughts become
first
things.
I first thought it was kind of weird, but I don't know. The more we kept thinking about it, and the more you explain it and everything, like it's like that makes a lot more sense now. Cause like it's true, like especially like in high school and like throughout your lives, you think and you hear someone keep complaining about how this isn't working out for them, how like their life sucks, and how like they keep having like bad luck, as they would say, and it'll continue like that, and it'll sometimes get a lot worse than usually is on some certain days or others. And like I remember like the one time you told me to try to like change it, and I remember I forgot what it is I used it on, but like I got like a positive response like within a week, and I was like so happy.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember just thinking like, oh, what a strange concept, but of course, me being me, I was like, let's try it. Why not? And I remember one of the first things that we decided that we would try to do is like is think about parking spaces. Something very, very simple.
Mhm.
And every time we would go to like the store, if the or anywhere that we would have to go and we would have to park the car. And we started saying like, okay, this is the specific spot we want close to this door, you know. And yeah, when we would go to the store, there would be either a parking spot open already or someone just leaving as we like turn into the parking lot.
Mhm.
And that was really cool for me to see. I was like, wow, like I didn't think it actually worked until I saw that and I was like, wow,
Right.
it was pretty cool.
So, I mean, I agree. I think that when I first heard of this, it was kind of like, oh my God, it makes so much sense, you know? But also, I've heard other people say kind of like the negative aspect of it because then you can go down the road of, wait, so all these bad things that are happening to me, it's my fault. And then you can fall into victimhood in that area. So I love that our first reaction was, yes, how can we use this, you know?
Hmm.
And you're right. I have forgotten about that we first started with something small like parking spaces.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about how it works, right? And kind of like walk people a little bit through it
Hmm.
and our experiences with it. So think of your mind as a radio transmitter, and every thought you have sends out a frequency, and the universe matches that frequency and returns experiences that align with it. So if you're constantly focusing on what you don't want, you're unknowingly attracting it. But on the flip side is equally true as well. So if you focus on what you do want with the sense of clarity, belief, and positivity, then those desires start manifesting into your life. The other day, Noodles and I were talking about, and this honestly, this wasn't even planned for me to share today, but we were talking about how in the Bible, Jesus said that all the children would be welcome into his kingdom. So if again, this is I'm not quoting it, you know, it's not verbatim. I don't know the scripture, but I promise you it's in there. Look it up. I'll look it up and I'll put it in there right now or I'll let you guys know. But, you know, it was like you need to be like a child to enter heaven, basically. And I was telling Noodles, I said, I think people, you know, that's misinterpreted a lot. But I feel my interpretation is it talks about the innocence. You know, children really are innocent. They don't know, they don't really judge people by the skin color. Like, and I'm talking pure innocence before they have been, you know, have gone through any bad stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, and sometimes even if they go through bad stuff, like children will still have that love, that innocence, you know?
Yeah.
And connecting that with this, that's kind of how you should go into it, right? With the innocence of a child. If you're switching the channels in your TV and you're going to go into the Cartoon Network, well, you're only going to be watching cartoons. And that's what you're putting out with the receiver. That's the message. And then you're going to get back the channel that you want to watch.
Mhm.
Right? So like a practical steps for beginners would be clarify what you want, write it down, create a vision board, or simply spend time every day visualizing the outcome you desire.
No, yeah, and
But
definitely
let me,
like how we said, like start off something small and easy if you want to test it out.
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
That's basically what we did.
yeah. And depending on how you feel, again, most people, we start with something small because we live, the way we've lived, it's kind of like in a limited world, right? They tell us right away what we can't do. Don't touch this, don't do that. So we're growing up with all these negative things, even if it's for saving, if it's for keeping us safe. For example, don't touch the stove. Well, that's
Mhm.
to save your life. But that's how it is. Think of growing up, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't stay up late, you can't have this for breakfast. So really from with birth, we're used to hearing a lot of can'ts and no's and
Yeah.
Mhm.
so our brain or our mindset is sometimes limited when we want to start manifesting things. This is why it's recommended to start with something small, like a parking space, because if you want to, you know what, $100 million, but at the back of your mind, you really don't think that you can get that. You could. You
Mhm.
definitely can. I still haven't been able to master that. There's things that I still haven't been able to master, but it's okay.
I think it's just taking baby steps. You need to start off with something small, something you know that it's achievable. Because if you jump to something big, then you're not going to get the same results. You have to, it's like training wheels. You have to start off small, basic steps, and then work your way up.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and give, like I said, I'll go ahead and do some steps and then we can talk about our experiences with the law of attraction, okay?
Okay.
I wrote down here some practical steps. Like I said, clarify what you want. You could write it down, create a vision board, visualization in your own mind, but be specific. Be specific for what you want. Instead of saying, I want more money, say, I'm grateful for earning $10,000 a month. You don't have to think how you're going to get it. Just focus on the end result. Okay. For
Mm-hmm.
example, the example with the parking space. Don't map out, the parkings and be like, okay, I'm gonna go right, I'm gonna go left, I'm gonna turn here, and that's the space I'm gonna get. No, just know that the space is there and just drive to it, and it's gonna be there. Positive thinking. Monitor your thoughts and language. Replace negative, limiting thoughts with positive affirmations. So again, like what I was talking about earlier. So instead of saying like, I'll never achieve this, start changing your wordings. Say I am capable of achieving my goals.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start paying attention to what you say to yourself, what you're thinking, it's gonna change because now you're paying attention to it. I know before I never really did, but now it's like, oh, okay, there's that little voice telling me the negative stuff. Nope.
Yeah.
So change it. And the last one that for me should be the first one is gratitude. Practice gratitude daily. Being thankful for what you already have creates a positive energy that attracts even more good things into your life. So again, the law of attraction is like attracts like. It's like magnets. So the more positive ways that you spin it, the more you're going to attract that. And really, those are the simple, and I'm doing air quotes here, this, it's a simplified way of the law of attraction. But I want to, dive more into this. Um, if somebody was to tell you what are the steps, what would you say would be the most important one to begin with?
Mm, just like saying something like one positive thing, either like to yourself or just in general out loud or in your mind, like once a day or like once in a while. Like that's I think that's a good way to start because like I admit like there are times like trying to keep a good positive mindset is hard. And a lot of people find that a bit difficult at first. So it's like, okay, like start off, like how we were saying earlier, like start off with baby steps. Like say one positive thing, like once a day. And
Mm-hmm.
the more you keep doing that, the more it'll become a bit more easier to start thinking a bit more positively. And no, yeah, like also like how like we said like how like with any type of like intent that you're trying to put out there, whether it's like spells or protection, you have to be a bit specific because if you're not, it can, it will do it, just not in the way that you expect or wanted. I remember this was a long time ago. I want to say I saw this, actually, I heard about it in my first year, my first semester in college. And that it was actually that I remember like a teacher, a kindergarten teacher, like some kids were like bullying some other kids, and so she wanted to teach them about like the power of the words. So she made two rice bags, one that said positive words and one that said negative, and she put them on the door. So every time they were to come in and out, they each had to say one positive thing to one rice bag, like say on the left, like one positive thing to the rice bag on the left, and then they had to say one negative thing to the rice bag on the right. And she said like yeah, within like a week or two, like the rice on the left, like it somehow like looked like it got brighter, more healthy, more strong. And the one on the right, it became moldy and black and looked like it was sickly. Like I think
Mm.
she's on a parent teacher conference. Like she showed them not only to the kids but also to the parents, showing them like this is what, like I had them do this for like 2 weeks. We're gonna keep going for a month with the same bags, and no, yeah, like they were shocked. And I think within our class, like bullying was down, like pretty much like it was like non-existent because they all realized like the words that they say, good or bad, like had effects. And
Mm.
I remember reading that and I was like, that is so true. Like it is I think that's even better how like that teacher decided to teach them young to realize that their words have meaning and power, and to apply that also to like to the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like the way you word things and everything, but also like the intention and the emotion into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I remember that with the rice. I also remember the one with the water. I don't know if you guys at the at the core of this, at the core of the law of attraction, really it's positivity.
Mhm.
It's looking at things kind of like look at it on the bright side. But I don't know if you guys remember that study that I've heard of it of the water too, where this person, I'm gonna look it up too now, but this scientist or whatever, they put like two cups, and on one, same thing. They every morning they would say to one, I love you, you're wonderful, positivity things, affirmations, good things. And then another glass of water, they would say bad things. They would say, you're ugly, nobody loves you, and all this. And after a while, after I don't know how long it took, a couple of days, they took samples and they looked at them under the microscope. And the ones where all the positivity and love and everything was talked about, it looked beautiful. Like they looked like little snowflakes, crystal, like really beautiful. the water with all the negativity, it was it was ugly. It was muddy. It didn't form really. It was blobs. And that one really got to me because it's like they said, like, we are water, right? I don't know what percentage, but I've always heard like we're like, I don't know, 75 or 80% water.
I want to say
And
60%. I'm not sure.
okay.
Don't quote me on this. I want to say like 60 or 70%. That's the ones I've always heard.
So I was saying about the water, I looked it up, you were right, it's 60%. So we're made of 60% water. So imagine if that's the impact that it was having on those, just a glass of water. Well, now put that on to you, you know? So, and by the way, I looked up the Bible passage. It's Matthew's 19:14, and it's the New International Version. I don't know what that means. I just Googled it. But the passage says, Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." And so, really, when you're looking into the law of attraction, that's really how we should go into this. Like little children, be innocent like little children and look at it on the bright side. When you're a kid, I don't think you expect the worst of an outcome. You just go out there and you do it.
Hmm.
So, speaking of that, there is another thing that for several years, all I had heard of was the law of attraction. And we would work on it, we would work on it. And then a couple of years ago, about maybe 2 years ago, I heard of the law of assumption. And so I do want to talk about this because the law of attraction and the law of assumption work together. Okay. So they complement, they complement each other and they operate slightly differently, but they work together. So what is the law of assumption? Have you guys ever heard of this before?
I want to say you told me about it, but I honestly don't remember.
I remember this. Yes, I remember you told me about it. Again, like you said, you found out about it a couple years ago. You told me while I was me and my wife were in the UK, and it was the whole like kind of like I said, like almost like similar to the law of attraction, but with the law of assumption, if I remember correctly, again, if I have it wrong, please uh, correct me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it's automatically like instead of like trying to attract it to you, you automatically like again with assumption, it's like, oh, like you already have it, it's yours already, it's automatically there. You just have to like act like you already have it, and now you just want it to grow.
Right. Yeah. In a nutshell, that's what it means. So the law of assumption was popularized by Neville Goddard, and I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but he was one of the authors or spiritualists. I don't know what he goes by, but he was in the original Law of Attraction in the movie The Secret,
Mm.
and he's had other books, but he's the one that kind of like made it more known. And it states that whatever you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, will become your reality. So, in simpler terms, the beliefs you hold deep within yourself shape the outcomes in your life. Here's the key, it's about assuming the feeling of what you wish and your wish being fulfilled. So instead of merely hoping or wishing for something, you operate from the belief that it is already done, such as Musica said, and you behave and think and feel as if your desired outcome has already been manifested. So I don't know if you can already see how the law of attraction and the law of assumption will work together. Because you should already be in, first of all, gratitude, be thankful, and you should already know what you want. For example, let's start with the parking space. So you already know you want, the closest parking space to where you where you're going to go to. Well, now with the law of assumption, you you know it's already there, and you just it's already assumed that it's already there. Have you guys put this in practice? And if you did, what did you experience? Like, do you feel like it did help?
Mm,
I've tried putting it into practice, but for some reason, this one's more difficult for me to do.
I
Mm-hmm.
agree. Like it is hard because um I guess like unlike like it like you said it is kind of similar to the law of attraction, but for the law of assumption it is a bit more difficult because you could be like oh like money troubles or your health or like you want to like a good outcome for like whatever and like because like the law of assumption from my experience that I'm having so far it's like taking a bit I wouldn't say more of its time but it's taking a bit more time than the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say it's kind of hard at me at times to try to keep the image there and clear for me. And
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, I'm not giving up or anything. It's just like it's just a bit more challenging.
Right. Okay. So interestingly enough, for me, I feel like the law of assumption is easier and I work a lot better with it, but I also the foundation is the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And the law of assumption is kind of like the walls around it that are helping you, but definitely the foundation is definitely the law of attraction. The way that they work together is the law of attraction allows you to focus on your thoughts and align your energy with your desires, right? So with the law of attraction, you already know you're focusing on what you want, your desires, your wishes, and then the law of assumption helps you become the person that has already manifested the desires. So kind of think of it like the law of attraction is the prequel and the law of assumption, it's like you're already in that role.
Hmm. Okay.
All right.
So one of the best tips that I ever heard, and I don't know, it was from one, I don't remember where I heard it because this was years ago, and I know I've you guys this example of the best example that I ever heard for using the law of attraction, and at the end also with the law of assumption, which is think of it with the law of attraction when you go to a restaurant, you know, when you go to, and you look at the menu and you see, okay, I want the steak. And the waitress comes and you put in your order for your steak with your big potatoes and, everything, the fixings. That is the law of attraction, you're putting out your desire. You're letting know the universe what you want. So in this case, you're letting know the waitress, this is what I want. I want the steak with the baked potato and all the fixings.
Mm-hmm.
And then the waitress goes and puts in your order. So when you're sitting there, what do you do? Do you sit there and do you focus on, oh, how is the cook going to make it? Oh, the cook's going to put oil. Oh, the cook's going to do this. Or do you just sit there knowing that you're going to get a steak, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go and you place an order on Amazon, you placed your order and then you kind of go on with your life and you know that you're going to get what you ordered most of the time.
Yep.
Say when you go to a restaurant, you're going to order steak and a baked potato. You know that they're going to come back with a plate with steak and potato, with a baked potato. They are not going to come back with the burger and fries.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really question it, right? You sit there and you already know that it's coming. And in fact, they even come and they sometimes bring you the steak sauce or, hot sauce or whatever already in anticipation. So you don't have your steak there. You don't have your baked potato there, but they're getting all the fixings ready for you.
Mhm.
That's the law of attraction. You place your order and then you let it go. You say what good health. And then you go along with your life because you know that it's going to happen. You want this certain job. Well, you already put the application and you already, you know what? It's mine. That job is mine already. That's that's how you have to switch your thinking. Where like if you're at a restaurant and you've placed an order and that's it. It's gonna come no matter, it's gonna arrive.
Mhm.
And with the law of assumption, again, you're getting all the fixings, the steak sauce, the butter, and the sour cream for your baked potatoes, and I'm making myself hungry, but
Mm.
All of a sudden, my
and
tummy's rumbling now.
and you are already, you're kind of, your mouth is starting to water. That's the assumption part. You already know it's coming. And your body's already kind of like, ooh, your taste buds are, and then you can start smelling. You start smelling the food. Like, do you ever question, oh, it's not, they're never going to bring it? Is it going to get here? How is the cook gonna, you know what I mean? Like, do you ever stop and think, how is the waiter gonna position everything in the tray?
Mm.
That's not normally how we do this. And I just love that example because to me, I was like, okay, that's how I could understand it with food.
Food is always good explanation.
Now, with the law of assumption, you combine the both and you not only attract the opportunities, but you also become the person who's ready to receive it and you act on those opportunities. It is hard, it is difficult, but it's not impossible. And the other way that I learned with the law of assumption is you ask the question. We're always, again, we grow up in a negative world, you know, and so we're always asking the wrong questions to ourselves. Oh my God, why am I so unlucky? Oh, why does these bad things always happen to me? And so on and so on.
Mhm.
So you are asking that, and the universe is like, oh, okay, let me show you why.
It
Oh, why
said
are things
bet.
always, yeah. Oh, why are things going always bad? Okay, let me show you because this is what you want to see.
Mhm.
So now we have to switch up our language. Why is it that everything always goes my way? And the more that you say it, the more that then the universe, your energy is going to bounce back as, oh, let me show you why everything always goes your way.
Mhm.
You know?
Hmm.
So, common pitfalls that beginners face. The focusing on lack. This is one of the biggest mistakes that beginners make. It's focusing on what they don't have. So when you focus on lack, you attract more lack. Again, why is it my money is always running out? I don't have enough money. I don't have enough. You're That's where your mind is always going on. So don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you want. That's the law of attraction. The law of assumption is focus on it as if you already have it. So let's talk about money because a lot of people, that's the first thing, especially right now with this economy. Like everybody wants money, right? Money,
Mhm.
money, money. So you're working a job. You have a job, right?
Mhm.
Do you get paid daily?
Mhm.
At the end of your job, when you clock out or when you walk out of the building or whatever, 9 times out of 10, they don't give you the cash as you're walking out, right?
Hmm.
Right.
But you're going every day to that job because you know that in a week, 2 weeks, whenever your paycheck is, some people get paid monthly, whatever, but you know that at the end of that work week or work cycle, you're going to have your paycheck. And you're already expecting it like a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's how you should be with everything that you want in your life. It's there. Like Musica, the hours you've already worked, that's money already there that your job is holding for you, right?
Mhm.
And you know you're gonna get it. So you're not really worrying, am I gonna get it? Am I not? You already know that it's there. And you're going about your life making plans for your paycheck. And that's how the law of assumption works. That's how the law of attraction works. Because not everything is like, you don't snap your fingers like right now, me, I want a coffee, snap my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
No, right?
Mm.
So it's the same thing with this. It's the same thing with money. You want money? Okay, put out your order to the universe and know that you breathe air. That's how sure you need to be when you put out your intention that it's a done deal. And the hard part is distracting yourself once you put the order in. Because then that's where you let negativity creep in. That's where you think, oh, well, you know what? Maybe not because I did this. Maybe not because I took a detour, or maybe not because then you start, I don't deserve it. Yeah, because I don't deserve it. Why would every time you find yourself with a negative thought like that, my tip is to let it fully form. Like, okay, I'm not, maybe I don't deserve this. Why would I get this? I don't deserve this. Have yourself a little pity party, and then you gather it in your mind. You could either write it down. I, because I have a really strong imagination, I can visualize. But again, play with your imagination, see it all written down, and then you crumble it in the piece of paper and you burn it. It bursts up to flames. And there it went. And then now you can start thinking the good things. Just like you think the bad things, you can think the good things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm dominating. Did you guys have anything to add about this?
No, not really, because again, like we're the ones who had also don't have that much experience with it. You do, because like you find it and then you put it into more practice more yourself before you start even telling us anything.
I just want to say, like, it is hard in the beginning. This is why we're saying start with something small, like the parking space. It doesn't need to be that, but something small like that. Because I've done it where I've asked for something big and it hasn't happened, time is passing, it hasn't happened, and then I'm over here self-doubting, like, oh man, am I kidding myself? Is this really even working? I don't
Mm-hmm.
deserve it. Like, all of that starts to build up. So, one practice I think everyone needs to um, start with is the be thankful. You know,
Yeah.
I, um, when I wake up, that's one of the first things I do is thank you, universe. Thank you for this amazing day. Thank you for, everything that I have, everything that I am. And then it's the thinking the smallest things, like mom just said. It's kind of like the universe is your waiter, and they're taking your order and they're writing it down, and they're getting it ready for you. But just know that it's coming, and you do have to be patient.
Hmm.
But just know that it's there. It's waiting for you, whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely. Doubt is definitely one of the pitfalls that
Mm-hmm.
not only beginners face, but we all do it. Because I still struggle with it sometimes, but it's definitely gotten easier because inconsistency is another pitfall. You do have to be consistent with it.
Yeah.
And if you're constantly shifting your focus or giving up, you won't build that momentum needed to see results. So be consistent with it and don't doubt it because doubt can kill your manifestation process. You have to believe in the process, even if the results aren't immediately visible. And it kind of, I hate to say this, but it kind of relies on faith.
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely.
it, yeah, and if you're not used to that, it's a change. It's a change and slow and steady and you will get there. You honestly, to me, the law of attraction is what was a page turner for me. When I first heard of it, it just resonated with me right away. I I don't know if it was I was just ready for that message at the time, but I put it into practice right away. And when I tell you that our lives changed so much that in a year it was a completely different
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't me by myself. Like we said, we were all doing it. I brought in everybody the day that I heard of it. I said, you all need to see this. And I'm so grateful that you all didn't fight me on it. Your dad didn't fight me on it. You guys sat there and you watched The Secret. And it was like, we put it in practice. No,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it hasn't been an easy journey, but I love it. I feel like my life is a before and an after for me,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it can be achieved, but like I said, you do need consistency.
Definitely.
And even if everyone around you they can laugh, I've seen it. Like, look, we were saying, what show was it that we're watching? Oh, we're watching Dexter. And in the show, in one of the seasons, I don't know if you remember this, Noodles, when the detective Angel Batista, was it Angel or Makusa? I don't remember which of the two. I know I think it was Angel. In one of the seasons, he did start talking about the law of attraction. Like, oh, do you remember that?
I remember that. Yeah.
And they make fun of it. You will see that. I've seen it in shows and in movies where oh, that's the crazy one.
Mm-hmm.
That's because everybody treats it like that. You know what? It's okay. One, you're not the only one. We are growing in numbers.
There are more of us each
And
day.
yeah. And two, how will it hurt?
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst that can happen if you start thinking positive and you start by expecting the good. Always expect that everything is going to go your way, no matter what, and see what happens. Because that's another thing. I think we are used to always looking at it on the negative side, or we go back to seeing the glass half empty.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen? Try it for a week. Just try it for a week and expect good things to happen. Just expect them to happen and wake up with that gratitude, with that expectation of like, show me today. God, show me how good life can be today.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down. Write down positive quotes. Write down your desires if that will help you. Put a reminder on your phone. Those are the tips that because I practice this. I do it. And I wanted to share this with y'all. I felt like I needed to share the law of attraction and the law of assumption with you guys because like I said, we first learned the law of attraction. And then now it's the law of assumption. And just keep at it. It's okay. If it's not working for you or you're thinking like, oh, just keep at it. What do you have to lose? Giggle says, hello, ladies. Yes, I am absolutely going to try it. Thank you very much. Great. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. It's hard to keep at it because, I mean, everyone suffers from their own, everyone has something going on in their life. And some days are easier than others, but just keep at it. If you have one day to slip up, that's fine. My advice is always if you're down, you can stay down, but don't be stuck there. Take a day,
hmm
take 2 days, but then get back up, dust yourself off, and continue. Because
Mhm.
if you stay there, all you're gonna get are the bad things. And that's not what you want. That's just gonna continuously pull you down. So don't get stuck. Just keep at it.
Yeah, for sure. Now, manifestation takes time. Both the law of attraction and the law of assumption require patience, belief, and practice. So don't be discouraged if things don't change overnight. The universe works in its own time, but with consistent applications, you guys will start to see your reality transform. You really will. Just be consistent with it. And Giggles says, I wish I would have listened earlier when y'all began. It's okay, Giggles. This this recording will go up on YouTube as well, probably, in the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free if you don't follow our YouTube channel, it's Bluntly Talking Podcast with an S at the end. And you guys will see all of our past uh podcasts
Streams.
there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we should keep up. We should, if you guys want to also continue this conversation, you guys can always join our Discord. And I would love to continue, and I think we should, this is something that even if you're a beginner for the law of attraction or you're not, like I said, this is a good reminder for everybody.
Yes, if you guys have any more questions that you can't think of right now or you're too shy to put it up right now, like ask it on the Discord. We'll answer to the best of our abilities, or if anyone else on Discord knows, they'll answer too.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Anyways, you guys, so whether you're here for some cannabis info, spiritual chats, or just to vibe with us, you are in the right place. And together, we are breaking down barriers and sparking conversations that matter. So if you found this episode helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments. What are you manifesting right now? I want to hear about that either here or on Discord. Like I said, let's support each other in this journey to create the lives that we truly desire. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Remember, you're always manifesting. Make sure you're manifesting what you want and not what you don't. Okay, so that's a wrap for me for today's Witch's Corner. Keep visualizing, keep assuming, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you all laters.
Bye.
Bye.